The Kevin Durant trade is happening in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And one of the teams trying to get him will absolutely shock you. We're talking about insider information so solid that KD's own people have this reporter on speed dial. And when he's wrong, they call him screaming. But this time, everything he's saying is about to turn the NBA upside down. John Gamidoro from Phoenix isn't your typical NBA reporter. This guy is so connected to Durant's inner circle that when he speaks, teams listen. His phone literally rings with calls from KD's camp when false rumors start spreading, and they shut him down immediately. So when Gamidoro says the trade is locked in for before the NBA draft, you better believe it's happening. The reason is simple: draft capital. Every team in this race needs those picks to make their packages work. And once the draft passes, half these deals become impossible. But here's where things get absolutely wild. The Phoenix Suns organization is imploding from the inside, and it's all because of owner Matt Ishbia's ego. This billionaire just hired a college coach named Brian Gregory as his top front office executive. Not an NBA veteran, not a proven GM, but a guy who spent 30 years coaching college kids. His only qualification? He was an assistant at Michigan State when Ishbia played there decades ago. Imagine running a billion-dollar franchise based on who you knew in college. The Suns don't even have draft picks, and Ishbia openly refuses to build through the draft, making this hire completely pointless. Dysfunction gets worse. Ishbia sent an internal email to employees that basically said he's going to be even more involved in basketball decisions. Remember, this is the same owner who forced the Kevin Durant trade in the first place, adding extra players and picks that weren't necessary. Now he's telling his staff he tried the conventional approach of hiring experts and staying out of the way, and it didn't work. Except that's complete BS, because he never stayed out of the way to begin with. Every employee who read that email probably started updating their resumes immediately. Here's the financial reality crushing Phoenix. Devin Booker is about to sign an extension worth $75 million per year, making him the highest paid player in NBA history. That's almost $1 million per game. While everyone's asking why there's no Booker trade buzz, the answer is simple. Nobody wants to pay a player nearly $80 million annually, especially when the team around him is falling apart. This contract situation is exactly why Durant has to go. Now for the bombshell nobody saw coming. The LA Clippers just entered the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, and their offer might actually work. They can sign KD to a 2-year extension that perfectly aligns with their salary cap situation, giving them massive flexibility in 2028. The deal would send Norm Powell, Derrick Jones Jr., Terrence Mann, and their first-round pick to Phoenix. It's not the flashiest package, but it gives the Suns exactly what they desperately need: quality depth and actual basketball players who can contribute immediately. But the real frontrunner might surprise you. San Antonio has quietly positioned themselves as the most attractive destination for Durant. Think about it. Pairing KD with Victor Wembanyama creates an instant championship contender, and the Spurs have the draft capital to make Phoenix say yes. They're offering Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sochan, and that crucial number 14 pick. Phoenix would love the number 2 pick or rookie sensation Stephon Castle, but those are completely off the table. Still, getting a young wing like Vassell and a lottery pick is better than most teams can offer. The Houston Rockets are sitting on the nuclear option that could end this entire trade war. They have Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., the number 10 pick, and enough young talent to make any team jealous. But here's the thing. Houston is smart enough to know that Kevin Durant isn't their ultimate target. They're saving all this ammunition for someone younger, someone who could anchor their franchise for the next decade. Reports suggest they'd rather wait for a disgruntled star like Giannis, or even make a play for Devin Booker himself down the line. Miami's approach is the most desperate and fascinating. They're refusing to include Tyler Herro, Bam Adebayo, or rookie sensation Kel'el Ware in any deal. Instead, they're proposing a 3-team trade that would send Kevin Durant to South Beach while shipping out role players and future picks. Their package centers around Nikola Jovic, Robert Williams III, and 2 first-rounders with Portland getting Duncan Robinson as salary filler. It's the weakest offer on paper, but Miami's track record of developing players and winning culture could appeal to Durant. The timeline is critical here. Phoenix needs this trade completed before the draft, because every competing team's best assets are tied to their draft position. The Spurs need that 14th pick. The Rockets want to keep their lottery selection, and the Clippers are dangling their late first rounder as a sweetener. Once those picks are used on draft night, the leverage completely shifts. What makes this situation even more chaotic is the complete lack of leadership in Phoenix. Matt Ishbia has created an environment where Devin Booker has played for 8 different head coaches in just 11 seasons. The latest hire, Jordi Fernandez, was chosen primarily because of his Michigan State connections rather than his NBA credentials. It's like watching a billionaire run an NBA franchise as his personal fantasy league. The reporting from Phoenix insiders suggests this trade is inevitable. The dysfunction at the top, the impossible salary cap situation, and Durant's own frustration with the organization have created a perfect storm. Teams around the league know Phoenix is desperate, which is why we're seeing so many different franchises throw their hat in the ring. But here's what nobody's talking about. Kevin Durant still has significant input on where he goes. At this stage of his career, he's not just looking for the best team or the biggest contract. He wants a situation where he can compete for championships without the drama that's followed him throughout his career. That could favor a stable organization like San Antonio or a proven winner like Miami over the flashier options. The next 2 weeks will determine not just where Kevin Durant plays next season, but potentially reshape the entire Western Conference. With the draft approaching and teams positioning their final offers, one thing is certain: the Phoenix Suns' dysfunction has created one of the most unpredictable trade scenarios in recent NBA history. And when the dust settles, the team that lands Durant might not be the one anyone expects.